That's what another student sent me, all beautifully drawn. But sometimes you also have some interesting ones where they had to tell me what the chemical was in Brasso. They were supposed to do this research, and there's a new one being found. They've found this americum as ammonia, and that's the difference in the level. If you think of someone who's drawn this, and I'll show you the next drawing they did, and someone who's doing this, the range, big. It's really, really big. Okay, just some other assignments. That's a diagram you can do on computers now. So computers give you the options to draw some little pictures. If you're really good, you'll do that. This blew me away. I looked at it and someone's gone and got a molecular model and they've made it and they've included the lone pair electrons out here. It's awesome. This was another diagram someone came up with. They found a program, they've downloaded it and used it. The same with this one. This guy is a computer expert, works in one of the computing companies, and he's doing the paper for interest. And he was onto computer programs and downloading all sorts of 3D chemical programs and drawing molecules. It was just fantastic. One of the instructions is to use tubes and toothpicks. I'm a believer in the concrete. Start with something they can see, something they can turn around, something that's actually real, that they can maneuver. Draw the pictures later on. These ones, I get a lot of very nice diagrams or very nice pictures of tubes. I can tell you that wine gums don't work as well as tubes. They're not as good. They're too tough. You can't get things in there. I've done that with actually first year students internally, university of our 100 level, made up those at an illustrator point, and it's really quite interesting. A number of students who've said, oh, that's a good idea. I could actually do that. I don't have to have a molecular model set. I don't think we push the concrete enough in some of our teaching. That's pretty much what you get there. You do get a range of possibilities, and the resources. This is one student just said there a set of references for one of the assignments. It's set out, it tells me when they got it, what it was retrieved at a certain point. This list went on. There was a page and a half for their assignment. Okay, it would take, I'm not as good. You could go to master theses that aren't as well sorted and well done. This student was a student who had done a degree in, I think it was history, and they were doing this paper because they wanted to have a little bit of science. They felt they needed to know something. So it can be fairly impressive. Right, and what about where the students are? Here we are now. This is what we are in 2008. Small difference. We're down in the Form 5 a bit, and a slight increase in these ones, a little bit of a decrease in the Form 7. Where they're going? Those are the sorts of things you're going to do the paper for. Vet science, they want to do vet and they haven't done science. Chemistry, they've got to do it. Otherwise they're lost, they haven't shown. Equine, animal studies, technology, natural resources. We do offer, there's another paper which is very similar, which is done by the agricultural horticulture students as an alternative. They can either do this paper or the other one. Prior knowledge, okay? If they've got Form 4, what's going to happen? They're going to fail, aren't they? You've got Form 4, you're no good, you can't possibly make that jump. Well, here's the pass rate. Interesting, Form 5 group is doing actually better than the Form 6 knowledge. So those coming in with Form 6 there weren't as many passes as there was from the Form 5. Form 7, not surprisingly, there's a few more passes. Okay, that's not too bad, can live with that. It is possible for a student to come in at Form 4 knowledge, do this paper, go on and do the 101 paper and get entry to vet school. And let me tell you, getting entry to vet school is probably as hard as it is to get into med school here. They're not straight A's, they won't get it. And that's across 4 papers, so it must work. At least it gives them a help that they're coming in with no chemistry and they can do that. What about other profiles? What sort of group have we got? That's an interesting graph. This one here, these are the Bs. So getting a B actually didn't matter whether you came from the 4th form or the 7th form knowledge. The percentage is about the same. There's less A's, that's not surprising, and there's a few more who actually failed. But you'll also notice something else if you look at it. Is it sort of a normal profile? Nice sort of, or is it actually bump? It's actually quite bimodal. The students, by the time they sit that exam, they've either got it or they've got lost. It's one or the other. There's very little in between. Most students have succeeded and have mastered it because they're very determined, or they've given up and they're failing. There's the age distribution. Not surprising. We used to have a few more of these. We're getting a few more of this group here. We have a slightly more mature student. Slightly more mature. And just run through a couple of things here. The distribution, female. Lots more female. Difference, we've got a growth in Māori. Pacific Islanders have suddenly appeared. And that's the comments from the students. Of course I've got the good ones in. There was one there that said, Adrian didn't answer my emails. Well, yeah, it was Christmas. No, it's yeah. And I'll just whiz through this. These are issues for us. We have to think about where we're going. Technology is probably our biggest challenge. And I think I'll just go straight forward 1 minute. That's the end. We can see where we're going. It's a bit cloudy, a bit hard to see exactly the path, but we've got some idea of where we're heading. And thank you. Sorry, a bit longer. Right. Thank you.